Dale, first things first, an official welcome to Gateshead. I mean, first off, just how you been doing, how things been going at the minute?
Yeah, it's been really good. Really privileged to be asked to take the role as goalkeeping coach here. Been in 3 or 4 weeks now during the week. Experienced the Sunderland and Newcastle games in recent weeks. So yeah, the staff, the players, the supporters, people around the ground have really welcomed us with open arms. So yeah, here's to a good future with Gateshead Football Club.
Yeah, and of course, this role's not your first sort of in the professional game. Obviously, you've been with Morpeth recently outside the full-time game, in a sense, but fans might hear your accent as well and notice you're not a regional lad. So what's your kind of background, where you sort of originally kind of been building up to coming here?
Yeah, well, I've lived in the area now for about 24, 25 years, so I'm kind of adopted into the northeast. But before, I was born and brought up in the southeast in Aldershot. So spent probably the best side of 10 years with the old Aldershot Football Club in the youth setup, and then with the reformed club. So yeah, there'll be 2 games I'm particularly looking forward to this year. Won't be doing anybody any favours, by the way, down south. So no, that was very much my first experience in the professional game. Then I had like a trial period at Newcastle United, which was going well, but like a lot of experiences went to the wayside. I got myself quite a nasty back injury, so kind of had to start again. And then I kind of flitted in and out of the non-league game. Normal life kind of got in the way, so I faded away a little bit. But in terms of recent history, about 8-9 years ago, John McDonald, who's the manager at Dunstan now, he was an FA mentor. He'd seen me coaching grassroots sides at Cramlington United. He took the job at West Allotment in the Northern League. He'd obviously remembered what I'd done and what he'd seen, and said, Dale, look, we've got a real minimal budget here, but if we can survive in the Northern League, we're going to become credible coaches, and people will know who we are. So I really grasped hold of that, and we did stay in the first division of the Northern League, and every move I've subsequently made has taken me up the pyramid. The last 5 years being at Morpeth Town as goalkeeping coach, head of goalkeeping with the academy, stint as assistant manager. But obviously, yeah, had 5 great years at Morpeth. But when Gateshead come knocking, you can't turn that opportunity down, and I've taken it with both hands. So.
Yeah, and you mentioned obviously leaving Morpeth to come here, but how has the actual opportunity kind of come around for you?
One of my other roles that I have is at Newcastle United in the pre-academy setup, and also work in the academy as well. Rob Elliott, who's obviously here, felt that it's at the stage we need a goalkeeping coach at Gateshead Football Club. I mean, Rob's got great experience, but the goalkeeping coaching isn't his bag, so to speak. So he's asked his ex-colleagues and friends at Newcastle United, and the goalkeeping hierarchy there put my name forward, which I'm extremely grateful for. And yeah, Rob's contacted me, created this opportunity. It allows me to keep my employment at Newcastle United as well as my own academy that I run. So yeah, just it's another step forward, and I look forward to developing the goalkeepers at this football club to help us to make them successful and make us successful as a football club.
And in coming into the club as well, you're coming into quite a tight-knit sort of coaching staff. There's not a huge amount of them in terms of numbers, but they all work very closely with each other. So there's a lot of trust, I suppose, placed in you to come into that. So how appreciative are you of that aspect as well?
One of the first things that's hit me straight away is the culture of this football club. I'd heard a lot about it beforehand, but literally almost immediately I'd been here half an hour, and I could tell that the manager, he drives a high standard with a calming intensity. If it's a bit of a paradox to say that, but you feel it. I find it inspiring as a coach. Of course, I believe that I can bring my part to that party as well. But no, the culture hits you immediately, and it spreads through to the players as well. The playing group, it wants to learn, it takes coaching messages on, And you've seen that with the way that the side finished last season and how we've started pre-season this season. So yeah, don't get me wrong, the screws turned when it needs to be and the like, but everything comes from a positive meaning. That I don't think I've come across a negative here yet. So, and I think even if we do have to give a negative message, it's done in a positive manner. That's the way I've trained myself to do things, and I think that would fit into the way the manager and the other staff want things to go.
Yeah, and you mentioned before as well that Rob kind of felt like this was the stage the club's getting to where a goalkeeper coach is something they needed to bring in. Obviously in the past, last season especially, Rob's been kind of doing bits here and there. Whoever the sub keeper's been, who's not been playing's kind of been leading the warm-ups and things like that. So I suppose, what difference does it make from your point of view having that full-time just coach aspect rather than someone who's maybe got split split kind of focus on playing and coaching? They can't really commit to the coaching aspect of it fully, really.
I mean, straight away, using Rob as the example, obviously our model is quite evident how we work with having, we've got Archie in, very, very promising young loanee. Rob's also there when required, so he can just focus on his goalkeeping. The group already know, I've made it quite clear, the sessions will be structured, I'll be liaising with the other staff. I'm doing that all a week in advance, so it's a bit of an in-joke with goalkeeping coaches that we have to be the most adaptable of the lot, because we can have the best laid plans, but then we're asked to change something at the last minute. We're adaptable to that, we accept that. So no, in the organisation of the sessions, that's going to be a big thing. The goalkeepers know they can come in, they know it's planned, they know it's all about them, because it is, at the end of the day, it's all about getting results for Gateshead Football Club's first team, developing through the younger ranks, developing the goalkeepers, developing the players, helping get these medals around these guys' necks ultimately, and seeing where their careers want to take them. Because the National League, what a platform it is. The sky's the limit. You've seen players from this league easily fit into Football League environments and beyond. So yeah, really exciting. But it's all about the player. It's all about developing the player, giving them my time as a coach and as part of the coaching staff. So to answer your question, that's what it is. The goalkeeping department, they don't need to worry about, what time are we doing this? When's it going to happen? How many of us are there? It's all there. And if we're in a position where it's not there, it's my job to make it happen. And that's a responsibility I look forward to taking. Yeah,
and you mentioned Archie, obviously one of the more recent additions to the squad. Obviously, a goalkeeper was a bit of a hotly debated topic amongst the fan base over the summer, but got one in now. Obviously, he's had a couple of appearances so far, but for you, from that coaching point of view, how much are you looking forward to hopefully seeing his progression as a young player early on in his career, coming for some regular football and seeing that progression where, later on in the season you can look back and see, right, he's come from here and now he's managed to sort of hit this point as you look through the season? Yeah, well,
Archie's given himself a great platform anyway. He's already a bit of a cult hero within the National League. Obviously, the Notts County fans have taken straight to him following what happened last year. But he's 22 now. He's got his own ideas on goalkeeping. He can make his own mind up. Yes, he takes guidance from myself and Rob and the other goalkeepers in the group. Because that's another thing I will look to instill. It's not just a case of asking Rob or asking Archie. If we've got a group of 5 or 6 in a session, everybody plays their part in the feedback. So from the most experienced to the least experienced. But moving back to Archie, yeah, He's got his own style. He's obviously his height's a key advantage, but there's still plenty more to be learnt from Archie. I've been in 4 weeks now. Of course, we like what we see, yeah, and we're all going to grow together with what happens.